All right, howdy everyone. The time is 6:46 p.m. and it is June 10th. Welcome to another update from Great Lakes Weather, and we have quite a interesting scenario set up for next week in regards to storms, if there is any storm potential in any case. But the real talk of next week is going to be the heat, and it is going to be very hot. All right, very hot. So it's going to be pretty much a heat wave that we're going to be dealing with near the beginning to the middle of next week. It's looking like we're going to get heat indexes that are pretty hot. We're going to get into all of that, show you why that's happening, and why I think we could definitely see some severe thunderstorms in the forecast next week as well. Now, again, it's going to be a very variable chance for that, but we're going to get into that as well. So make sure you're on all our platforms. All those different platforms you can see there, those are all the handles that you can get connected with. I need to remove the True Social one because I don't think we're going to be able to get on there. But scan that QR code in the bottom right hand corner to make sure that you stay connected to all of our different platforms. And that QR code, if you're watching on desktop, will direct you to everything that we have. So let's get right into it because we have quite a bit of weather to talk about. All right, so first, let us begin with the height anomaly. This shows what the temperature differences are in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and you can really see why we're dealing with those cooler temperatures that we're having right now. Temperatures only around the 70s, which has been quite nice for this week. We have a nice big trough that's just sitting over our area, and this trough has been sitting over our area for the past several days. So that's really contributed to that cooler weather and that more comfortable air and the sunshine that we've been seeing, because cooler weather in the upper levels of the atmosphere usually hinders thunderstorm development, and that is what has provided us with the opportunity for some sunshine. We did see some developing pop-up showers and thunderstorms. There was a lightning strike apparently near Coldwater earlier today, so that was something, well, some random pop-up thunderstorms, and I think we'll see more of those come next week when the heat really builds in. So let's progress this forward. We're getting into Saturday now. Again, that ridge is still very strong over the area on Saturday, not really showing much of a change on Saturday. Sunday, watch what this ridge is going to start to do as we get into Sunday. This ridge is going to start to build into the north. It's going to get very strong as you approach parts of the Michigan area. So let's push it northward here. If by Monday we have this ridge over our area, it's not that strong yet. We'll see temperatures in the mid, maybe upper 80s on Monday, which isn't really too bad, I guess you would say. And then by Tuesday, we really get that ridge building into the area. And this right here is going to definitely drive some severe potential as we get into Tuesday across the plains. Now, again, this trough that's sitting right next to this ridge, this right here, we could see a low pressure system develop in this area, and that will really drive some severe thunderstorms in this area. We're going to have to watch how that ridge evolves, how this little area evolves over the next couple of days with the upcoming models. Again, this model may change, but with this right behind a very strong ridge, we could see some good storms right here. So let's continue this. Again, that ridge is staying very strong on Tuesday and into Wednesday. We've got very warm air throughout the atmosphere, and that is going to really drive a lot of randomness in our weather over the next couple of days. There will be slight chances of thunderstorms pretty much every day next week, and storms could really take off if they reach a favorable environment like that we're going to have. So you got this really deep ridge right in here, and it's still very strong. And then the trough kind of cools things down for parts of Michigan. Indiana and Ohio, we'll see a little bit of a cool down as well, but not as significant. And then we'll just continue. And the ridge tends to really stick around. We may see more heat in parts of the plains behind these two air masses, and then we see the ridge moving back in a little bit weaker, but again returning to parts of Indiana and Ohio, which could lead to some warmer temperatures towards the beginning of the following week. So that's June 20th. That's long range models, so we'll have to watch that, but this is what the models are trending. This is going to really drive some big heat. So that's going to be something we want to watch with upcoming storms as well. Let's take a look at the temperatures again. Keep in mind as I'm going through this is just the heat index. It's not the true temperature that is going to be outside. Temperatures pretty much next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, those are the key days, are going to be in the low to mid 90s. We may see some upper 90s as well. But let's continue this. Right now we're in the 70s. That's how we've been pretty much all day today, which has been quite nice. Let's continue forward a little bit. Sunday, we're getting a little bit warmer, especially if you're in areas to the south, such as southern Indiana. You get temperatures up near 90, or heat indexes up near 90, and then maybe even up towards the upper 90s as that ridge begins to really start to build in. Monday, ridge builds in even more into parts of Indiana. You get the heat index into the upper 90s, close to 100 in some spots. Even southern Ohio as well, getting in that. But again, Michigan's really not going to be dealing with that too much hot air until Tuesday. So let's continue this forward a little bit further. Hot air Monday afternoon and evening, close to 110 heat indexes. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some heat advisories on that. But again, the models may change later on. Usually some models tend to blow things up before it really comes down to the nitty-gritty stuff, the time where the event is going to occur. But let's continue it. Tuesday is when we will see some heat right here. Pretty much heat indexes in the hundreds anywhere across Indiana, southwestern Ohio, according to the GFS model. That's what that is portraying. And then getting up to 100 in parts of Michigan as well, even up to 106 in some spots. Wow. So this is where the heat really begins to build in. Wednesday, it's going to be even hotter than this. I know. It's pretty crazy to think about with this heat wave that's going to be coming in. Heat indexes, all of 100s, almost all across everywhere in the Great Lakes region, except if you live in northern Michigan, where you're in the 90s. So pretty excessive heat you're going to be dealing with. You're going to want to find ways to stay cool. Tuesday and Wednesday, you probably want to get that lawn mowed before Tuesday and Wednesday, because you're not going to want to do it on that day. So then we get that, again, as I showed you earlier, that trough that kind of cools things down a bit for Thursday in parts of the north, but the south is still going to be dealing with heat indexes that are going to be very warm. Now, that is what we're looking at with this heat wave. I want to look at the dew points, because dew points are a measure of moisture, and the moisture in the atmosphere will drive thunderstorms, okay? So look at the moisture we're going to get on Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at how much moisture we have in the atmosphere. Dew points are going to be close to 80, okay? 80 is a very high dew point, okay? That means there's a lot of moisture. It's a moisture-rich atmosphere. You typically don't see dew points this high. So dew points in the upper 70s. Now, we're looking at scattered thunderstorms, not really a widespread severe weather event as of right now, according to the latest models, but there are some models that are depicting some scattered thunderstorm development that could be strong, maybe even severe. So let's look into that right now with our next graph. Actually, ECMWF, for comparison, if we go to the strongest day of heat indexes, it kind of downplays the event as compared to other models. So you get heat indexes in the 90s. I would say this is a little bit more of a fairer assessment of what we could see. So again, but still, Indiana and Ohio are going to be quite hot with that ridge that builds in later on. So let's now move into precipitation. All right, so excuse me. Precipitation charts. So we saw some scattered rain showers and maybe a couple pop-up thunderstorms today. If I was driving through Michigan earlier today, and I saw some clouds pop up here and there. Nothing really too intense. Looks like the same story for Saturday. Some scattered rain showers, but really going to be most places will stay dry tomorrow. Not really going to be a widespread event of storms. But again, Sunday morning, it looks like even some more storms will develop. There will be some pop-up showers and thunderstorms here and there as that ridge moves in associated with that warm front. Wouldn't be surprised to see that. Now, Monday, we're getting that warm front. You can really see that defined warm front with those thunderstorms on the northern edge of it. Not really sure about the severity of these storms as of yet, so we're going to have to just keep an eye on that. It really shows some randomness in the development. Again, we're getting into a really warm segment of the atmosphere. We're going to see randomness with look at how quickly this changes. You've got these storms way out here, and then it just dissipates just like that after we get into after nightfall. So really, sunshine and dew points are going to drive these events, okay? It's not really many of the other factors that will drive it. It's the warm air all throughout the atmosphere is really going to fuel the storms, okay? So right here, We got some more thunderstorms that will develop on Thursday, more scattered in nature once again, and I believe they'll be connected to that trough that's sitting to the north of the Great Lakes region. But they'll kind of just pop up here and there on Thursday, maybe even on Friday as well. This is what the ECMWF model projects. So pretty much next week, chances of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could be strong to severe based on just the amount of moisture and temperature that we have in the atmosphere. Really, that fuel is going to drive heavy thunderstorms. Not sure if they'll be super severe. Maybe they'll pack some damaging winds. I don't really think we'll see crazy tornado outbreak. No, absolutely not. Not until what we get information from the SPC. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple severe warned storms here and there next week with this very heavy heat, I guess you could call it. So that is what is on the table for that. Let's look at the GFS real quick, get a comparison. GFS actually kind of downplays what the ECMWF does, and I'm actually surprised because GFS actually can downplay it often. But again, get some soundings connected with this ridge. You got marginal tornado risk, and this is in the morning, so it's not really a good time to assess the severe potential. Looking at the afternoon on Wednesday. Now, this could be something that we want to look at. So looking here, tornado risk appears on the model charts. I want to take a look here at the supercell composite. Okay, so this is the potential that we will see supercells with a given storm that would develop. And as we progress it through, this is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you can really see as that ridge moves in, you can see the supercell potential begins to increase. This is according to the GFS model. Models, again, might change, but we may compare this to ECMWF model real quick as well. Progressing it, again, you see that supercell composite showing supercell potential across parts of the Great Lakes region, and gradually moving connected with that warm front. On Wednesday afternoon, we get the potential in western Michigan once again, and then it kind of just sits around the area as we just have that very warm, moist atmosphere for storms. So it's just going to be something we want to be aware of, because really supercell potential is packed with these storms. That's what the latest models are showing. But I would still wait to just say that this is going to be a severe weather event, because this is still several days out. Friday, we see some more supercell composite values appearing. So we'll just have to wait and see what the SPC decides based on what they have, because they have a lot more information than I do, for sure. And unfortunately, I won't be able to get a look at the ECMWF high res for that information. But we'll look here, because I think we can stretch it out towards when? Tuesday. So Tuesday, they show some pretty good supercell potential. Again, the NAM really plays things at a much higher level. So let's get a sounding for Monday showing tornado risk. Again, NAM model really plays these things really high. So we're just going to want to watch this severe weather threat as it continues to develop. But I wouldn't be surprised if the SPC puts out at least marginal risk one of the days. But again, I'm going to that's their decision, not mine. So there's a lot to keep an eye on next week. And I won't really be active on here next week. Once again, June is really like the busiest month for me. But if Wednesday appears to show up really good for Michigan, I might chase in Michigan on Wednesday. So we'll see how things pan out with that. But hopefully this information was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will be available for this weekend to provide information about the weather. And I'm going to be consistently checking these models, because there's a lot going on with these models right now with this unstable air mass that's going to be really filtering into our area. So just stay aware and make sure you have a way to get weather information. You've got Great Lakes weather, you've got weather radio, all those different types of things, and I will continue to provide updates as they come along. So thanks again for watching, and hopefully you can enjoy the rest of your evening.